Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Unskilled Travel Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Long, here with my co-host, co-explorer, fellow traveler, Amy.
Hello.
You know, usually at this point I say we are in Las Vegas, Nevada in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios, but we're actually on the road this week. You hear a little background noise, some traffic. We set up shop on a free street on the side of the road. No, we haven't. But we have dubbed this the season. We're in season 4 here. It's the season of road trips. We're getting out on the open road and seeing more of not only our country. We may end up having some road trips in other countries as well. We usually do.
Yeah, usually. At least one.
We drive in some crazy places. Italy is quite the place. Yeah. If you want adventure with a side of, oh my God, it's going to be Italy. That's the best place to figure that out. But, you know, we are in this, like I said, this season of road trips and everything. So, but we're also doing a little series within a series about the 250th birthday of the United States. This year, the U.S. turns 250. So as the United States approaches its 250th birthday, we're taking a look at the essential places that you shouldn't miss in the U.S., the ones that really show America at its best. Our last episode focused on the more historic sites that explained how the country began. Today is about the places that make traveling the U.S. unforgettable. So that's like the landscapes, the national parks, iconic cities, landmarks, and even some beaches, right? So if you're building a lifetime travel list, these are the stops we think deserve a place near or on the top of your list.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things that makes U.S. great is that we have so much to offer. It's such a huge country. There's a little bit of everything. We have beaches, we have mountains, we have desert, we have forest. I mean, everything in between. And then all these very diverse cities. So you can come here and get a lot for your money if you're traveling from another country. But just know there's a lot to see. It's going to take you a while to cover it all.
Yeah, you got 3 days.
You need to pick one thing on the list. Like
some of those terrible travel writers. Hate to call out some of my own. They're constantly making the same list. If you have 3 days in the United States, you ain't gonna see nothing in 3 days. Look,
that's not this show.
No. I believe with all of my heart, one of the greatest things the United States has ever done is create our national park system. And it seems normal now. We have, I believe, 64 national parks with a waiting list of dozens of other places that may eventually get the call up to the big leagues, as I say, to the national park level, that right now are like state level parks and monuments and things like that. Yeah. And so it's kind of normal to look at it now, but the core idea of the national park system was really radical when it was created in the 19th century. It was designed to basically set aside and preserve for public use, to keep free from overdevelopment and things like that, these most just beautiful and special and spectacular places that the United States had to offer.
Yeah, and I just learned that some of our national parks are UNESCO World Heritage Sites, right? Yep. I didn't know that. I thought it was just, as you were saying, to preserve a piece of land, but some of them do have such history in that area that it is actually, you know, a historical site of what's happened there, that they've preserved these structures or whatever makes that particular park unique. So every park is a little bit different. And I think that's something, if you're not familiar with our national parks, like some of them feel the same, but they offer unique experiences. But there's so many different things you can see at a national park. It's not just trees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and you know the name, even if you don't live in the U.S., people know names like Yellowstone. They know Yosemite. They know the Grand Canyon, places like this. These are all part of our national park system, which are, I hate to say, they're constantly under attack. it doesn't matter. Look, I don't, talk about people's politics. I don't really care about it, but it almost doesn't matter who's in power in our country. It seems like our national parks are almost always under attack.
Yeah.
But that's why, presidents like Ulysses S. Grant and Theodore Roosevelt and people like this way back in the 19th century, at least they were forward-looking and forward-thinking men at the time, because God forbid, there be a Starbucks on multiple corners inside Yellowstone.
Right.
Bison roaming in and out of McDonald's or something like that. I'm not saying these corporations shouldn't exist or anything like that. I'm saying they specifically set aside and had to go through the legal system and pass through Congress and write off, federal law to make sure that these places didn't get overdeveloped, and they're constantly under attack. And so I think it is on us, especially travelers, to spread the word about these places and say, hey, look, we have these beautiful places. They're for public use. They're for the public to enjoy. Let's not, and they're designed in a way to like not make people like, oh, I got to have my this or that inside this national park. It's you could do a couple of days without, I don't know,
do without
your Krispy Kreme donut. Some of you should.
What are the top most visited national parks that we have?
You have the number one. Do you know the number one?
I think you're going to tell me.
The number one visited park in the United States is Great Smoky Mountains National Park.
Oh, that's surprising.
Yeah.
Okay.
By a wide margin.
I feel like you've told me this and I just didn't retain that information.
Probably. Do you listen to the show?
I would have guessed.
No, you don't.
That's funny. I would have guessed the Grand Canyon.
Okay. That one's pretty close. But by a wide margin, it is Great Smoky Mountains National Park in Tennessee. And I think they top 13 million visitors every single year. And it might be their proximity to so many condensed states along the Midwest Eastern side of the United States. But also, I mean, like the big ones are up there: Yellowstone, Grand Canyon, Yosemite, all very popular and all serve and see, millions of visitors every single year. Do you know our least visited one? I'll tell you our least one.
Please
I visited this one too.
Did you?
Congaree National Park.
I was going to guess that one, but isn't it one of the newest
ones?
It is.
It is also one of the newest ones. It's right now the least visited, but I think that'll change over the years.
Well, so you have been to Great Smoky Mountain. Mm-hmm. What do you think about it? Is it worth the visit if so many people are going?
You have to go at the right time. If it's just like visiting anywhere else. If you go during their peak seasons, like summers, places like that get overrun with people. I mean, same with Paris, same with, any other place. But if you go during, say, the shoulder seasons, it can be a really lovely experience. I recommend, because it is so full of foliage and all of that, like the fall when the leaves are changing and you have those beautiful bright, orange and yellows and reds that really make it come to life. And we'll also talk about it. We're going to talk a little bit about our favorite road trips in the U.S. And that kind of butts up right next to with the a road trip as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you to see if you're into leaf peeping.
Leaf peeping. Okay.
Yes.
I was going to ask what you think makes this national park unique, but it kind of sounds like maybe it is the foliage.
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
My favorite one so far, I would have to say Yellowstone.
Why?
It's so varied. You need multiple days to get through Yellowstone and do its service, but you have places like
Is this Half Dome? No.
No,
that's Yosemite, right?
That's Yosemite. I just looked at you and my mind went blank. Bison. I think they have waterfalls. Old Faithful. That's what I was trying to. Old
Faithful. Oh, okay.
Old Faithful.
Got it. I was not sure where you were going with that.
Your face, it makes me forget. Keep it right here. We're talking essential places to visit in the U.S. as it turns 250. We'll be right back.
Unskilled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Check us out online, unscaledtravelshow.com. Check us out on YouTube, all the social medias. Also at unscaledtravelshow.com for all of our past episodes, all of that good stuff. Right there, we're talking about the essential places we think you should at least write down. Jot down a list. You might vacation. If you've never visited the United States, you might one day.
Maybe.
And you need some places. And I know, like, we're doing a list more like, it's meant to be more vague and open-ended. It's more meant to inspire.
Yeah.
Than to just give you like, these are my favorite places. Because look, number one, I'm a huge history nerd. So if I end up giving you a list,
I'm glad you said it.
If I end up giving you a list of my favorites, they're all going to be centered around history things, historical, whatever. So I like to mix it up a little bit for the commoners, for the normal people
for the
out
people
there.
like me.
For the people that have those forgettable things about. What were we talking about? National parks. There we go. So we were just talking about national parks, and like I said, there's 64, and every single one of them are incredibly varied. There's ones like the Great Sand Dunes National Park, which right in the middle of Colorado, who knew there are great sand dunes? They're humongous.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful park, right? And literally just a couple hours away, there's ones like Mesa Verde National Park, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It was a beautiful place, not only just a park, but just essential to the heritage around there with the Puebloan Indians and things like that.
I think that to me was the most surprising one I've been to.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't expecting all of those structures to still be there and be intact. So right now that one's ranking pretty high on my favorite.
And then, they have the ones like years ago, I visited Big Bend National Park in Texas. And they're all so varied and they're so different that you won't have the same experience. I've been to Glacier National and all kinds. You won't have the same experience going to either one or to each one. And like, they're all worth checking out in their own way. Right. Different seasons and everything. Yeah. And along with that, with our national, like natural parks are I think is the human ingenuity side of some incredible things that we've done in the United States. And most of them are more along the lines of like modern marvels. Right. And I always take again, I kind of get into the engineering and the history part aspects of a lot of these things and I nerd out about it, but they are worth the stop every single time. And it's not just me. They are extremely popular sites that people love to visit, including one that is literally pretty darn close to our house. Yeah. And that's Hoover Dam.
Yeah. We went to Hoover Dam multiple times before we decided to actually take the tour inside the dam and see the workings of it. And just going there and being on the outside of it and walking across the dam is a really neat experience. But actually doing the tour and getting to go into it and see how it works and see the video of how it was built, that just totally shifted it to a must do for me. Like before, it's like, okay, it's cool to be here and see this, but going into it is one of those experiences that I think everybody should do that.
Yeah, I think there's an appreciation that can only be earned by doing one of the guided tours that takes you inside this amazing structure that's over 700 feet tall. It spans the gorge between two states here, Nevada and Arizona. It was completed in 1936, and over 20,000 people during the Great Depression here in the U.S., kind of formed these two towns, Boulder City and to a lesser degree, Las Vegas, just in the middle of the desert, and really made the desert bloom just through sheer ingenuity and will.
Yeah. And I think it's one of those things people all around the world have heard of. They have a concept of it, but actually being inside of it and understanding the magnitude of it. Because
you see it.
At one point in the tour, you can walk down one of the air shafts and look out from the windows, like in the side of the dam. It's just, to understand the scale of it, you can't really wrap your head around it until you're in that moment. And you're like, I am this one little speck on the side of this giant dam. It really is fascinating.
You know, another one that I really love, and a city I really, really enjoy in San Francisco that is iconic, is Golden Gate Bridge.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I think people all over the world know Golden Gate Bridge. When they see it, people, I think, instantly go, you know, San Francisco. Just like, you know, Paris has the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
San Francisco has this beautiful bridge that also around the same time period, completed in 1937, and it costs $35 million, which sounds like a deal these days.
It does, yeah.
I mean, when you add in inflation, it's probably not that much of a deal, but it's just this iconic landmark that I think people seek out especially if they go to San Francisco, they seek out to go and at least view it from one of the many beautiful angles you can have on this. And every one of them, I think, makes you feel something different about the city. If you go across the water into the other county and look through and back, and you get the bridge with the iconic skyline and everything, it makes you feel totally different than when you go down to like Torpedo Wharf and you're almost eye level with the water, and you're looking up and seeing the majesty and just how big this thing is.
It's one of those things that every time we go to San Francisco, we make our way over there and we take pictures of it. I have lost count of how many pictures I have of the Golden Gate Bridge, but every time I feel like I have to take new pictures. It's just so impressive. And if you hit it on the right day where there's like some of the clouds or the fog kind of rolling in, you can get some gorgeous shots. So, you know, we always end up over there at least for a couple of hours.
Or if you happen upon when it's Navy Week and they're flying airplanes, U.S. like fighter jets and you know, all of that over the weekend, they come in and around the bridge. And
it's really neat.
The fog is rolled in a little bit, I mean, it is a spectacular, just
spectacle.
Show. Spectacular spectacle. There you go. And then I think one that I always stare at, and you kind of nudge me because I look like a total tourist when we go to New York, but I always stare at the Empire State Building.
Oh, yeah. It's beautiful.
And when we're walking by it and I'm just looking up and you're going, what are you doing? It's hard to comprehend this, you know, over 100 stories tall, built again in the 1930s, completed, I think, in 1931. 3,500 people working on this building almost round the clock. And it's still just this sign of New York. It's almost on par with like the Statue of Liberty or something like that. People see it and they go,
it's an icon of the city.
That's New York.
And, you know, yes, looking up at the buildings in New York does mark you as a tourist, but it's sad that more people don't, because New York has gorgeous architecture from that time period. You can walk around and there are so many buildings with these beautiful carvings and statues on the corners. I always find myself looking up in New York, so I don't care if I look like a tourist. I'm going to appreciate the architecture.
Yeah. I mean, I may run into stuff. Someone stole my wallet once, but I don't know if they did. I think I dropped it, honestly. It's all right. Let's Go Travel Show. We'll be right back.
Unskilled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. Yay. Jeremy Long here with my co-host, co-explorer Amy.
Hello.
We are in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios. Thank you so much, Diamondback Land Surveying. Always a friend of the show. Appreciate you guys. We're talking about, man, you know, the United States is turning 250, and I know that's not a huge yearly milestone, especially if for our listeners that are in Europe. You know, they have cities that go back to the dawn of civilization, right? But it is a big deal here.
Yeah.
And across the country, there are cities big and small. I just saw, obviously on LinkedIn, I have a lot of tourism departments and personnel that I'm connected to over the years, and they're all buzzing about the same thing. Big and small cities everywhere have set aside funds for this year in particular. It seems like everyone's doing something in their small town or in their big city way.
Yeah.
From fireworks shows to community cookouts and everything else, especially as we march toward July 4th is like our official birthday here in the U.S. Has to do with a war and a constitution, a whole thing. It's really interesting. Google that. But so everyone's really excited. And in our way, as we have kind of crisscrossed the nation over the last couple of years, especially, again, road trip wise, we've seen like cities and communities kind of reach out and do, they're getting ready because also Route 66, a real famous road map here in the U.S. roadway is turning 100. So they kind of coincide. And so like everyone, there's this energy that's palpable when it comes to travel.
It is. The U.S. is huge. We have some very large cities, but it's almost this like Americana feel, like this pride in our country and our way of travel that, the road that made road trips more accessible and popular. Exactly. It's all having these pivotal birthdays and the same year. So it's like everybody's kind of talking about road trips this year. I know people who travel a lot and they usually go international, and they're all staying in the U.S. this year and doing road trips.
Yeah. And it's one of those things. You have to acknowledge that, yes, things are going on in the country, and you always, you can't hide under a rug and just pretend things aren't happening. But also, as people that live and work and travel and love to do these things, honestly, we try not to see all the bad. We try to see the good. And so that's what, shows like this are about, and, you were mentioning, we were actually talking about the human ingenuity side and the great buildings and things like that are still iconic across the United States.
Yeah.
I mean, the St. Louis Arch, which is in itself a national park.
It is, and I didn't know that. I just found that out.
The Brooklyn Bridge, which we have so many photos of. It's just gorgeous. Yes. We love it. And then what's the other one that I was just talking to you about in the break?
Oh, I lost it.
Sorry.
There
you go. All right. Doesn't really matter. So as we talk about the ingenuity part, going back to some of the natural, and we love our beaches and lakes too. And we have some world famous ones like South Beach.
Oh, right. Yeah.
A beach that we have visited many times over the years now.
Yeah.
Not only just for the sunshine and the outdoors, but also everything else around it.
Yeah. I mean, the Art Deco of the buildings right there lining that street that looks out over to the beach. I just love it. It's so beautiful. I love the feel and the vibe of it. It is, I would say, a bit more of a party beach, but it's such a fun place to be. And if you go down there in the evening, there will be people everywhere, in and out of all the hotels and restaurants and bars, going over to the beach. It kind of does just feel like just sort of an open party on the beach, and it's fun. I like it. Yeah. There's no other word for South Beach, I think, other than fun.
Yeah, it's the fun, and it's the Art Deco buildings. When you go down there, there's usually almost every single weekend there's some kind of festival. It has so much energy around it, and I think that's directly tied to the cultures that have made South Beach and the greater part of Miami their own. Such as, all the Cuban immigrants that have come in and kind of put their own flavor and life into everything. The food is just amazing.
Right.
In that direct area. And of course, iconic foods like the Cubano sandwich, things that have come out of this area. So you could grab a Cubano sandwich, hit South Beach, walk down the hot sand and, just holding the sandwich. That's my idea of a party anyway. But we kind of grew up not too far away from an iconic party beach. So you mentioned party beaches in South Padre.
Oh, right.
South Padre Island in Texas.
Yeah. I I only went once, and it wasn't for that. We were just going to that area for something else.
You shut it down. You were a partier, man. I can tell.
I will not answer that.
You pleading the fifth?
Absolutely. But yeah, it's a huge beach. That's where everybody goes for spring breaks or, to get their summer vacation on. And because Texas has a bunch of beach, but most of it's not great. This one section of our beaches, I would say, is good. It's worth going to.
That's an official endorsement. Travel Texas. You should sign us up. Yeah, it is this South Padre, because Northern Padre kind of butts up against Corpus Christi. But Padre Island itself is long. It's I want to say it's 100 miles long.
Oh, I didn't know it was that big.
I mean, it's a really, it might not be, if it watches, it's like 16 miles or something. But one part of it is a nature preserve. Like the northern part of it is a nature preserve. And the southern part of the island is this party headquarters that is like small town meets party central. If you have a kid that goes to like University of Texas or A&M or any of these schools in that vicinity and they go on spring break, usually people are headed to South Padre or just Padre as they call it.
Yeah. And I think you can't talk about American beaches and not mention like San Diego and Los Angeles. There's some iconic beaches over there too.
Oh,
we've been to both. I mean, Mission Beach in San Diego and Santa Monica Pier in LA. Yeah, I mean, just great beaches.
We'll continue on. Let's come back from the break. Unscheduled Travel Show.
Unscheduled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscheduled Travel Show. Jeremy Long here with my co-host, Amy.
Hello.
We are on the road, but always a shout out to our friends over at Diamondback Land Surveying. Best land surveying company in the nation. Not even a lie. They are one of the best land surveying companies in the nation. All kinds of states they're operating in. I think they're up to like 16, 17 states.
Wow. Good for
all
them.
Across the US, man. So and they have supported us for years, so we appreciate Trent and Lisa Keenan. They're pillars here in Las Vegas, and they are travelers too. And we are now talking about some of the best beaches. And, you were, when we went to break, you were kind of talking about the beaches in San Diego and California. Of course, the West Coast beaches. You got to mention all the beautiful West Coast beaches. I mean, we could just do a show on those. And I think we have.
I think we have
done a show on the best West Coast beaches.
And this isn't even getting into Hawaii. I mean, that's its own show itself.
Everything in Hawaii.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I don't know if you consider Alaska to have beaches, but I mean, yeah, those are incredible. I mean, just for the landscape itself there.
It's almost unreal. You go to some of these places and they don't feel real. Like, I mean, it's not a beach per se, but like Lake Tahoe.
Oh, right. My favorite place in the world.
That's Amy's happy place. It's Lake Tahoe. And we've vacationed there. We have visited there many times. We hope to one day have a house there, although rich people keep buying up all the land, and I don't know what that means for us later. But Lake Tahoe is one of those places that just does not feel real when you first visit it. It's so big. It's so vast. And the water's crystal clear, and it stays a constant temperature all year round. And it's a year-round destination, too. People go there in the summertime, obviously, to swim in the lake, and we've done that. But it's also a huge skiing area. It's a winter playground for people as well. So, you can see why this area stays popular, and it just has this feel about it as like, wow. Does anyone else notice this?
Yeah. Am I in a painting right now?
Yeah.
Like which I've had that feeling
at
a
Norman
few
Rockwell
places.
painting or something.
I mean, the first every time we go to the Grand Canyon, actually, I kind of feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't feel real. But I've had that at a few other places too. Like, what is that place in Death Valley? It's something like the Devil's Golf Course.
Yeah,
with
Devil's
all
Golf Course.
the formations on the ground. It seems like it's from another world. Like, it just doesn't feel like the U.S. we know.
Yeah, and Death Valley is roughly 2.5 hours north of Vegas, northwest of Vegas, but very, very drivable distance. But if you go there, like we have several times after significant rains, there's old lakes that appear, the water holds, and you get almost a totally different experience going into a Death Valley after rainfall as you would during the hot months. I don't know why people go there during the hot months.
No,
it's so hot.
We made that mistake once.
Not even lying. A place called Death Valley is very hot. But yeah, the Devil's Golf Course and a lot of other places, they fill up different areas with like water. It fills up naturally with water. And it's just, I mean, it transports you. It almost looks like an alien planet.
It does.
The same with places like Monument Valley.
Oh, right.
That in Utah and, kind of goes into Arizona a little bit, that just they had this totally different feel to them.
I always feel like I'm in a movie when we drive through that part of the country because it's just so beautiful. Like, it doesn't feel like real life.
What the one in Missouri, Lake of the Ozarks in Missouri? Your parents live near there. I mean, it's just this beautiful wooded. You kind of forget for a moment where you are.
Yeah.
Not that like, oh, I don't want to be in Missouri, but like, it's. I'm not saying that.
Visit Missouri.
I feel like we need to.
We are rejecting sponsors before they can even reach out to us. So good to know.
Visit Missouri.com. Lake of the Ozarks is just absolutely gorgeous. Let me clarify. Lake Michigan, the Great Lakes, are otherworldly because they're. I don't know. This sounds dumb, but like there's almost like little oceans in the middle of like nowhere or whatever, and they have so much history and they mean so much. I think that's the biggest part. Is that like Lake of the Ozarks, the Great Lakes, they mean so much to the communities that are on them. They mean so much to people as they grow up. Because most of them spend a lot of time on those lakes. Right. And so they're all deeply ingrained with people from those areas. And I can't speak of the Great Lakes in that aspect because I grew up in the South. Yeah. That's a whole different thing. But like, it makes you feel when you see them for the first time, you're like, wow, I can't believe this is real.
I always think every time we go to Lake Tahoe, I always think it's so much bigger than I think it is. Like, because you forget how vast it is. You hear lake and you think small body of water, and these are huge, enormous bodies of water. So it's a little bit humbling to stand there and see that.
I tell you, at the opposite end of, I guess, the spectrum, I would say places like Antelope Canyon. Near Page, Arizona. Page is home of the Horseshoe Bend, and it's a gorgeous place, but it's really arid and dry. Yeah. And then they have this set of slot canyons that you can travel down into and squeeze through and bend around. And that's they've been carved from wind and rain and everything for eons. And once you go down into them, the Antelope Canyons feel like
it does.
It feels like you're on an alien planet.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then we recently went to Cathedral Gorge State Park here in like eastern Nevada, and that one too, just really interesting. I've never seen anything like that. Just the formations that are in the state park.
Yeah, I keep meaning to read up on like what are those formations because it doesn't seem like anything my little brain can comprehend.
Your little history brain.
It doesn't compute. And I mentioned the great sand dunes national park and those kind of areas that already you're just like, how did sand dunes get in the middle of Colorado? Right. Like, I don't understand how time works. Every time I think about this stuff, I remind myself I don't understand science at all. which makes my children sad. Keep it right here on Unskilled Travel Show. We'll be right back.
Unskilled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unskilled Travel Show. Jeremy Long here with my co-explorer, Amy.
Hello.
We're on the road, but usually we're in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios in Las Vegas. I feel like we need to plug Missouri.
And Texas after our comments earlier.
Your comment, our comments, your comment.
Mine was Texas. Yours was Missouri.
Look, you can visit Travel Texas. I think traveltexas.com. Okay. And they have all kinds of wonderful things across that incredible state. Vast state. It takes like 10 hours to cross it by car. If not more.
I thought it was longer than that.
If not more. Well, if you got a heavy foot on the gas, 10 hours. And you'll still, I think people, Europeans a lot, and I mean no disrespect to them, but like sometimes they don't understand how vast some of our states are.
Yeah.
And 10 hours in Europe,
you can be
in multiple countries.
Yeah.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. In 10 hours, 10, 12, maybe 14 hours in Texas, you'll still be in Texas.
Right. I mean,
It's kind of crazy.
Driving north up Nevada is an over 8-hour drive to get to the next state above us.
Yeah. So visit Missouri. That's my point in all of this. Visit Missouri. Go to visitmo.com. That's M-O. Not like Mo as in Three Stooges. Visit mo.com. Okay. We love them. We just sometimes.
We go frequently to Missouri.
We do. Your parents live in Missouri.
They do.
So
They love it.
All the time.
They relocated there from Texas. It was their retirement dream to live in Missouri.
Yeah. And we took a pretty fun road trip, and it's one of our more recent episodes. We talk about the places and stops we made along the way. And we are the type of people that stop for the giant fake arrows on the side of the road, and the giant gas station pumps, and
the Rubik's Cube.
The giant Rubik's Cube, and the world's largest spurs that are in someone's yard for some reason. And we get out and we take pictures of those things because we're at that age. That's what 40 looks like. But the U.S. has a number of really fun and kind of iconic road trips that, if nothing else, you'll see a lot of these things along the way. The stuff that we're talking about, a ton of national parks along these routes, a ton of things to do along these routes. Mm-hmm. So, and they've just kind of become synonymous with America. And like you said earlier, kind of Americana.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we've done a show on that here in season 4. I think it was our second episode of the year. But the Route 66 road trip that goes from Chicago to Los Angeles. And yes, there is a wrong way and a right way to do it. Apparently, you got to start in Chicago and end in LA, allegedly. But you can start in Santa Monica, where Route 66 officially ends, and take the route up to Chicago.
Which is how we've driven it from Vegas to the east. Yeah.
So Route 66 hasn't been an official highway since the mid-'80s.
Yeah.
When they officially kind of... If you guys have ever seen the movie Cars, see the Pixar movie Cars, it'll give you a new appreciation for it, and it'll make you sadder because it tells a real story. They built the highway system, the second iteration of the U.S. highway system, was more concerned with efficiency, getting people across the United States in different places as fast as possible. So it bypassed a lot of small towns that places like, or routes like Route 66 were built around, and they built these towns up along this way. And for many decades, it was this way. And then highways came along and kind of wrecked all that.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing that makes Route 66 so great is that it winds with the landscape. It does take you to all these great little stops that now you probably wouldn't ever even notice because they're just off the highway. But there's so much to see. There's so much to do. And we just took this road trip across Route 66 over to Missouri. And it was probably one of the best trips we've ever taken, I think.
Absolutely. I'm wonderful at road trips.
I'm wonderful at road trip snacks.
Yeah, you keep me fed. But like you said, Santa Monica to Chicago, and there's so much to see in between there. Another one that you and I, we've driven portions of it. We haven't driven all the way up, but the Pacific Coast Highway.
Oh, right.
You take the one, right?
The one.
You take the one. That's what it's called.
I know.
One.
I just love the way people say
I'm
that.
not talking about the Matrix.
No, you take
He's
the one.
Oh, you take the one. But the Pacific Coast Highway and just California's beautiful coastline. And then all the way up, if you keep going through Oregon into Washington.
Right.
You just see so many variations of mountains, cliffs, the oceans, all kind of stacked together.
Yeah, and Oregon has some beautiful coastline. Earlier we were talking about places that feel otherworldly. Cannon Beach specifically has all those giant boulders out in the water. It just, I follow their Canyon Beach like tourism bureau or visitor center, and they're always posting pictures of their beaches, and I want to go so bad.
You kind of gave a good tip right there without saying it, but like following tourism agencies either on Instagram or TikTok, those are great sources for information. And I mean, inspiration, not only for the road trip, but inspiration for things, taking these little roadside stops. They're good at uncovering those for local areas that they work with.
Hidden gems.
And that's our show for today. I'm not continuing on. Yes, even hidden gems and little off the beaten path places and all of those tropes and everything.
All
but
your favorite phrases right there.
Right there. But they're really good at showing people those kind of things that because I think Google and all of that is really good to a certain degree. But they're going to show you the most popular thing. They're going to show you the most sought after, searched for thing in those towns, along those paths and everything. But these tourism agencies, a lot of them, most of them, will get down a little bit deeper, dig down a little bit deeper for you.
And a lot of them will have kind of itineraries on their websites of if you're interested in this type of experience, go to these places. Or if you're here like for a family vacation, these are recommendations. So you can learn a lot about an area based on their visitor center website.
So I mentioned earlier about the Great Smoky Mountains and the fall foliage and all of that. The Blue Ridge Parkway that kind of cuts through, I think, Carolina into different places that for fall foliage and if you're into leaf peeping.
Yeah.
And at one point, I think they called it the $1 Million Highway or something like that because the views are so iconic as it wraps around the mountains. It's almost 500 miles long if you drive it from end to end, but it feels like it's almost entirely designed for scenery and for those who love the fall peak season. It's not really built for speed. You will, you kind of slow down to take the curves and everything else, but the Blue Ridge Parkway is a kind of classic and iconic East Coast drive.
My grandpa and grandma always did road trips. And I remember my grandpa telling me they had been to all 50 states, that his favorite place in the entire U.S. was Asheville, North Carolina, because it's so beautiful. The scenery, the trees, the mountains. Yeah. And I've never been. And so it's on my list of places that I need to go.
Well, we might just make that because why not?
Why not? Let's see it.
It's a great road trip. And of course, the one that most kids probably recognize, especially if you grew up in the U.S., is New York to L.A.
Yeah. You see everything.
People dream about it. You cut across the country. It is the route, right? That's probably the first one that people do. Well, we used to do on those old Rand McNally maps and circle it in pencil and be like, going from New York to LA and we're going to stop here and here and here. That's probably right
like the ultimate U.S. road trip.
Absolutely. Keep it right here on Scale Travel Show. We'll be right back.
Unskilled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. Jeremy Long here with my co-explorer, Amy.
Hello.
We are not in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios or in Sin City, Las Vegas, but you know what? That's where we usually are. We're on the road right now because it is road trip season, but we are talking about the essential places we think you should at least put on your list, debate it back and forth with your travel partners, the places you should see. And go back and listen to the episode before this one. It's about the places you should also see that are more bound to the creation of the United States and what we see as essential places to understand the formation of our country. And so I wanted to kind of end the show talking about some of our favorite cities. We have traveled far and wide across the United States. Yeah. Obviously, we grew up here. We have seen some things. Every city has both good and bad. Yeah. And some people will be like, oh, we don't like that. We don't. Let's try to look into the good part of all of this, right? If I were to ask you, your favorite big city.
Favorite big city? Probably Chicago.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there any particular thing about Chicago? Is it the architecture, the food?
I do love the architecture, and you and I did one of their river architecture cruises, and that was fascinating. I loved it. But it's a big city, but to me, it doesn't feel big. Like, they have some skyscrapers, but it's not like New York where there's so many skyscrapers. It feels a little claustrophobic. Like, Chicago feels a little more spread out and a little more like a smaller city that everybody calls a big city, even though it is big, but it just feels smaller, I think, because it's a little more homey.
Yeah, I can see that. Chicago's, it's pretty up there for me. I loved, we've both been there. You've been there more than I have. But my trips there, I mean, there's something about going to like Wrigley Field.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's something about enjoying a game there, even if you're not necessarily a baseball fan. It's a legendary stadium.
Yeah, it really
is. It's so iconic. Everything seems, especially in Wrigleyville and the surrounding communities, everything is kind of walkable. It kind of feels like that, like a big city that's walkable in most areas and most places, and to get around. The food that comes out of there, the people that come out of there. I think the people that come out of Chicago aren't as one way or another. I mean, I think if you look at people that are born and raised in New York and the people that are born and raised in LA, love the fact that they come from those areas. Yeah. I think Chicago people are a little bit more kind of laid back and just they're kind of easygoing.
I agree completely.
And that's nothing against, I mean, just people from New York have a certain way about them.
People from New York think New York's the only city in the world you should live in.
Well, that's a little bit more direct than I was going to say.
Well, I mean, to each their own.
It's hard to argue.
Yeah.
It's hard to argue. New York is probably my favorite giant city.
Is it?
Yeah, it really is. It does. And like I said, the people have a different way of seeing life. It's quicker. It's less... especially we grew up in the South, so everything was like super polite and yes ma'am and no ma'am and blah 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 blah. New York, they do that because I was totally expected to fight people the first time I ever went to New York, because people were, they always only show us the rude people of New York, but I don't think it's that at all. I think people are just very direct.
It's they're nice, but they're not kind.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's kind of a backhand.
No, but there's this thing going around that people in the South are kind, but they're not nice. Like the bless your heart, that kind of thing. Like they'll insult you to their face, but they'll do it with a smile. Whereas people on the East Coast they're nice to you, but they're kind of direct and a little bit mean about it sometimes. You haven't seen any of this? It's all over my social media.
We're just doing
So funny.
Okay, come to America. People are nice but not kind. There you go. Yeah, New York, it just has a different energy to it that I really love. LA is more iconic, I think, if like because of Hollywood and its past and the golden age, and it's kind of has this, like little laid back feeling, vibe, energy to it throughout the entire city. The food, it's I guess the distance from like Mexico and the melting pot of people make the food, I think, in LA just next level.
Well, that's a question. If you're talking food only, what's your number one city?
Food only for me personally, because of where we grew up, I would say New Orleans.
Oh, I would say Houston.
Really? Houston. Yeah. Houston is a good melting pot of flavors. It really is.
We have not found that mix of cuisines anywhere else.
I would say yes. I would agree with you there. But personally, because I love Cajun cuisine, New Orleans would be home for me for food. But like a mix, there are some incredible restaurants in Houston. And shout out to my folks down there. Like I've been on press trips down there to different Michelin award winning restaurants that are, from all over. Yeah. And they have so many incredible flavors.
I would say a good second, and we mentioned it earlier, Miami. The Cuban food.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. You can't beat it.
Cuban food itself.
What do you think, if somebody loves history, what is the number one place they need to go? I know we just talked about it on the last episode, but like for you. I
think there's three, and they're all equal because they all have different things about them. I would say Philadelphia, kind of where it all started in the U.S. Washington, D.C., kind of where it's all going now. And then I would say maybe Williamsburg.
I thought you would throw San Antonio in there for the Alamo.
Yeah. I mean, San Antonio's in there too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a number of them, but San Antonio is a great mix because it kind of has a little bit of everything. I mean, you talk about Houston having the food. San Antonio is the birthplace of Tex-Mex, which is, to me, the greatest food.
My favorite.
The entire world. Chilies and cheese, get out of here. Just let me eat all day and then ship me off to fat camp. But San Antonio, but it's also like a tech hub. It also has so much history behind it because of not only just the Alamo, but the Texas Revolution thing in Old West. And it's a very old city, like established like in the, I believe, 1700s. So it predates the United States as a country. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, San Antonio, Tucson has really good food.
That's a good one, yeah.
Tucson also has a great culture and feel to it, a vibe. I think it's highly underrated as a city. But now we're like mid-major cities. Like, of course, I love Vegas. People have a very love-hate relationship with Vegas. Mm-hmm. We live here, so yes, I can, and I will be a little bit biased. I love this city. I love the energy.
I do too.
But, so other people will be like, oh, I hate Vegas because they come here for 3 days and they spend all that time on the strip and they never see anything else.
Yeah, they don't leave that little bubble. Yeah. But the city really has so much more to offer than that.
I would also say like Seattle.
Oh, okay.
Seattle's a really good city for me.
Yeah.
It's really fun. Lots of stuff to offer as far as if you just need stuff to do, but it's also got a good food. It has more of like Asian roots. So more like Asian cuisines and all that, really good food. And the people are always super nice when I go there. Yeah. Super just chill. Maybe it's the gray skies. They're all just kind of down a peg. Not sad, just like they're just not super amped up about it.
Visit Seattle.com.
That's not what I meant. And then places like Hawaii.
Oh, yeah.
Just anywhere in Hawaii. We have so many great memories of, how wonderful people are. And you talk about food and scenes and a mix of everything all together.
That was the first time I think I ever like really enjoyed a vacation. Like it was just so laid back and just but I mean like because enjoy it like in a different way. Like this is a vacation. It wasn't a trip. We weren't traveling. Like we took an actual vacation and we just relaxed and enjoyed the islands for a week. And that was incredible. I still think about that. And that was, I don't know, 15 years ago, the first time we went. And it was still one of my top trips.
Really?
Yeah.
Anything before that stunk it up. Yeah. I understand.
Not for relaxing is what I'm saying.
We hope we have inspired you. Jeez. We hope you got something good out of this. A lot of places we love, some that we apparently don't enjoy all that much. It just keeps creeping out. Don't ride a train in Springfield is all I'm going to say. If you know, you know. See you guys next time on Scale Travel Show. Visit us online.